All right. Let's move on to Sony and see how long did it take to go over this. What are your
5 minutes
thoughts
later,
on Sony's
Nintendo.
conference?
Disappointing as a lot.
All right. So
Great way to word that.
I'm gonna say something about Sony.
Okay.
Sony, just stop. Okay? Just stop. Disappointment, and you're a failure right now. You're a bankrupt company. Just go back to making DVD players. It's way better for you now.
DVD
Wow.
players.
Someone's
Yeah.
triggered.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all I wanted to say about Sony. Sony's E3.
Okay.
Just stop. Spare us.
And now that you warmed up, Pancake, tell us how you really feel.
I can't swear because I made a promise. Screw you, James.
Fine, I'll do it for. Fine, I'll do it for you. Fun. Not.
All right,
But yeah,
Brandon, your turn to do like a 20-minute rant.
Probably not. Probably not gonna be that long. I doubt it, because thing with Sony is that compared to Microsoft is I actually enjoyed Microsoft conference. Sony, I was so disappointed. I mean, I like some of the stuff they showed, but some I like some of the games or some of the stuff they showed, but so disappointing though. To me, just Sony's was so disappointing. I was watching and then when it got to the end, it's that's it. That's all they showed. What? Why can't we just see more? I mean, some of the stuff I can see why they didn't show. Okay, when there's some types that we talked in the past about. It'd be awesome if they showed this and this, but some of the stuff I can see not showing that and not doing that. But some of the stuff that they announced last year, or some of the stuff they announced within that last year, or that we know, or games that we know about, weren't even shown at Sony's conference. We weren't shown anything about we weren't shown anything about the Last of Us 2. We didn't, which I thought would be at E3 this year. Which I mean, really haven't really played that much of the original one, but that thing was disappointing because not showing that. Even though they did show off the Uncharted spin-off game or whatever, which showed a little bit of that. They didn't show off, they didn't show off the. What I was gonna say, they didn't show off anything about Sucker Punch didn't show any game, despite because the last game was Infamous Second Son, and then the DLC for Infamous Second Son First Light or whatever. Which I'm surprised that I thought they would come because they haven't released a game in quite some time, 3 or 4 years even. I think it was 3 years since Infamous Second Son came out. Because I thought they would probably come and show a new game or heck a new IP even, but no, we didn't see anything from Sucker Punch. We didn't see anything. Well, I mean, I did see later on that night after the Sony conference that there was a Crash trailer of the trilogy, but they didn't show anything about Crash besides of course that Crash was not during the conference, so they didn't what else? Also, I know a lot of people were expecting this, even though I don't you can't really expect it that much. I know some people probably the reason a lot of people wanted. Well, it's more like a lot of people wanted it, not really expecting it. They wanted this is the Spyro trilogy remastered thing, which would be really cool if they did that. Which would probably have made Sony quite a bit better conference and all that if they showed of the games I mentioned or already that weren't there or stuff. Obviously, they didn't show anything about Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy VII remake at all, because plus, I mean, I think that was fine because they, like I said, they didn't show anything in the 2016's conference of the previous year. They didn't show Final Fantasy VII remake or Kingdom Hearts 3 at all either at that conference either. So I mean, it's not as disappointing, I guess, because of that. But and also one thing I'd like to mention that of all the games that they showed at E3 2016, the majority of them were games that they announced or shown from the previous year. That's the thing. Like really, I mean, we always saw God of War, we always saw Spider-Man from last year, which I understand. I understand they go like I was fine with them having that, but like. Of those, like mainly those two games those two were pretty much big games of that series was the God of War and the Insomniac Spider game. What's the Insomniac Spider game looked really cool and interesting. Which, if I do ever get a PS4, I'll go ahead and buy that game. Even though I'm not going to get a PS4, but if I do ever get a PS4, I'll go get that game. The new Spider-Man, the Insomniac Spider game, because that looks really cool and all that. Well, I'm not really looking forward to God of War at all that much. but also what else? Like, also one thing I thought was strange is when they showed that a Final Fantasy 15 fishing game, which I thought, oh, okay, why I don't know. But one thing,
what was up with that?
Yeah, I know, like Final Fantasy 15 fishing. Also, another thing, but one thing I did like that they showed was they're having like a remake of Shadow of the Colossus. So I mean, it's one of the which I mean I'm not gonna get because I don't have a PS4, but like that's really neat and nice to have a remake of Shadow of the Colossus because a lot of people refer it as like one of the best PS2 games, if even the best game ever. A lot of people do of Shadow of the Colossus and all that, which I guess also when I show that which kind of made sense of why at least to me why I made The Last Guardian took a little longer because they were working on the remake of Shadow of the Colossus for the PS4. Because I know a lot of people are saying this is probably just a remaster, but no, it's a remake. Like I knew when I first that at first I thought it was a sequel just because of how good it looked. At first I thought when my first reaction was I thought it was gonna be a sequel or something like that, but then I heard it's a remake of the original. So plus especially when they showed the title Shadow of the Colossus, so it's a remake. Which is nice.
Is that being built from the ground up, or are they reusing old assets?
I think it's ground up. I think it's a ground up thing. It's not a remastered, it's a remake.
All right.
Yeah, it's a full blown remake, not a remastered. Which a lot of people thought it was probably going to be a remastered, but it's been confirmed it's actually a remake, I believe. And everything. And also, it's also like to mention with Sony how also like I mentioned earlier with how Sony's not doing the backwards compatible thing because they said backwards compatible doesn't sell at all and doesn't do good or anything, which is just crap. But yes, it does. It does. Like there's people that buy that and everything. Even though I don't really care that much if PS4 has backwards compatible because I have a PS3 anyway and I don't have a PS4, so. But that's no excuse. That's not an excuse of not having it. Even though I don't care if, like I said, I don't care if they have it or not. Because Nintendo doesn't have backwards compatible with Switch at all. So, anyway, but yeah, it was really Sony's just I think was one of the worst. Well, I think one of the worst just because just how disappointing it was, and they could have done so much more. That just wow, and it was really short too. Because they went over Data War, and the and the Spider-Man game, they showed a lot of that, and was those two the main focus. Which I think they should have shown a lot less of that, and more, and maybe show other games or other games that already been announced or announced a bunch of new games. Because the thing that suppose at Sony, they barely announced any new games. If that's the thing about Sony's that's why I think it's one of the worst, or if not the worst. Well, I don't think it's the worst, but one of the worst. Because I think they did better than EA, and Bethesda, better than Bethesda's, but third to last place in my opinion of all the different conferences that they of the 6 different conferences or whatever. But yeah, that's just really disappointing.
I think the problem with Sony right now is that they have the same problem Nintendo had for the past 2 E3s, where they didn't really solve a lot of new stuff because they really just don't have anything new to show. Yeah,
that might have been the problem. They didn't have anything new to show, but I kind of wish that they showed, other games that were other games that were announced that weren't shown there at all. Though I wish they show The Last of Us 2 or other games that were announced the previous year or even years before that weren't shown there. Even though a lot of them were shown there, but like that were originally already announced or shown last year. But just wish they just had quite more. Also with Pancake earlier about how he was saying that Sony just should go back to the. I don't really think that, just because one with Sony is that like the only thing that Sony has right now, like the reason they're only surviving is because PlayStation, all that, and just because PlayStation sells so well, and a lot of people like PlayStation and their exclusives on that. Because that's what a lot of people argue against, Microsoft and everything, because Sony has exclusives while Microsoft really doesn't have the exclusives anymore, especially with the Play to Now, which I mean, I do like the Play Anywhere program though. That's pretty neat though. Well, a lot of people went on that because they don't have talk about how they don't have any Xbox doesn't have any exclusives and all that, but I mean they have some exclusives, but not many. The PlayStation has quite a bit more, which is pretty nice for people who are PlayStation fans and all that. Which I think they just could. If PlayStation goes down, I think they're just gonna Sony goes down or could maybe make bankrupt. Because with got like Sid mentioned with Nintendo, you got how they had the Wii and the DS and all that did so well, and the Switch is most likely going to sell really well too, which is it already is selling really well. Just that because with Nintendo they they're like you can't. It's kind of hard to get a Switch because of so many people want one. And then you got Microsoft, which is even if Xbox dies, Microsoft won't go bankrupt just because Microsoft has the whole PC market thing with them and everything. And to be fair, if one of them, if any other three gaming companies goes down, like if they lose, I think Microsoft would still be in business and won't. I mean, it would hurt Microsoft quite a bit, but I think of the three, Microsoft has the less likely to go bankrupt of the three, and Sony has the most likely going to go bankrupt because Sony's not doing financially pretty bad if you don't count the gaming part of Sony.
I think Sony also has the most to lose right now because if they do, because the PlayStation does go bankrupt. Now their other divisions are already doing that well, like the animation and stuff like that. Those are not going to last without PlayStation, so they're probably really screwed without that. Microsoft, like you said, they have the PC, so they'll be fine even if Xbox goes away. And Nintendo has proven in the past to be able to adapt to other business models if one goes away. Like they used to make trading cards before they made video games.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. But the thing is, with Nintendo, that was before they went to the game market, though. So, of course, like I said, Nintendo has older systems like the Wii and DS, and they also have the 3DS, which because they're still supporting the 3DS. So, and everything, but you have also past systems that sold really well, so that probably helped them stay in business. If something does go bad.
All right, what about you, James?
All right, so like the Microsoft one, I'm gonna quickly run down other things that were announced. Brandon did touch on a couple things, but I just want to go through them just generally to line them up. And again, I apologize if I get a little distracted because I do have my restless puppy in my room now, so he might go a little crazy, but I'm going to try to not make him go insane. Anyway, so they started out with a look at Uncharted Lost Legacy, which was, I think, at the last two E3s, maybe just last year, but yeah, it's coming out this August apparently, so that's cool. New Uncharted, because I don't think they'll ever do another main series one, but you never know. Then they went and shown off an expansion, a winter expansion, called The Frozen Wilds for Horizon Zero Dawn. So that's cool that game's gonna continue on. Then they showed off Days Gone, which I didn't actually recognize at first. I thought it was a whole different game. Then they showed off a couple things pretty noteworthy. Shadow of the Colossus remake for PS4, which I guess is like their apparent "we're sorry" love letter for the HD version that came out on PS3 along with Ico. So I think it is being built from the ground up, so it's good that Shadow of the Colossus fans are getting something new for them, even though it's an old title at this point. Monster Hunter World was revealed for 2018, so that's pretty cool. Apparently it's also coming to PC at a later date, but Monster Hunter World was pretty nice. Call of Duty World War II, they showed off multiplayer stuff, which is cool. Comes out in November. You've already mentioned the Final Fantasy 15 fishing VR game, which is pretty funny. I'm still waiting for Big the Cat's Fishing Adventure 3. Then they showed off, as Brandon put it, which I love because I used this also during my reactions to each conference, Dad of War. Dad of War is another year for Dad of War being shown off. It's apparently coming early next year, so it's nice to see more of that. Their game called Detroit, which is about robots, that looked pretty cool. And Spider-Man, because who doesn't love Spider-Man? Insomniac does it again. Spider-Man looks great, and hopefully the teaser at the end showing off Miles Morales is that's going to be our Spider-Man that they're basing it off of, so it'll be cool to see Miles Morales be the star instead of Peter Parker, or any of the other, 2 other Spider-Men that are in the comics, so that'll be cool. But yeah, I really liked the Sony. I liked the Sony conference, but it was lacking things like Last of Us 2. They apparently did show off the Crash Insane trilogy thing during their hour pre-show before the actual conference. I think that was one of the first things they showed off, actually. So disappointing that they didn't have Last of Us 2, but they still had a fairly solid lineup. But yeah, I really enjoyed what we saw at Sony, and that's really all I can really say about it. Just, they did all right. They did all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was just important in my opinion.
There weren't very many games from the conference that excited me. I think Shadow of the Colossus, the remake for that, was the biggest new thing that made me happy. Really, for fishing? Why fishing for Final Fantasy 15? Why was that not a mini game in the full game? Why is it separate? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, besides that, that Detroit game looked pretty cool because I love choice and consequence games like Epic Mickey and Undertale and stuff like that. But other than that, while they didn't really demonstrate a whole lot of new stuff, I will say that the format of the conference itself was pretty cool. How they had the guy come out on stage only a few times, and then they just let people watch trailer after trailer after trailer. That was really cool, and I hope Nintendo does something like that because that would be really cool. And I really liked how they did the fire effects and the screen movings during the conference. But other than those kind of weird gimmicks, there's really nothing about the conference itself that was interesting to me.
And also, the Detroit Become Human game looks pretty cool and interesting. That I'd give you that game that does look pretty interesting and could be an enjoyable game. And also, like I mentioned from the Microsoft conference that I kind of missed earlier, that I just remembered, just popped in my head right now. That the Life is Strange prequel. That looks interesting. I like the original Life is Strange, but anyway, let's continue.
Something I noticed is that whenever we give our thoughts, for these questions, Pancake goes on a bit of a rant. Grandpa's game, he talks for about an eternity. James releases a bunch of bullet points, and then I talk about who God knows what.
And then I go talk about more games because because the bullet points.
Yeah.
That I missed. Because I just talk about what I thought that just comes right in my mind right then, really. Or just what I remember, or just thought of that I could think of.
All right, so my next question is, what are your thoughts on Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle and Beyond Good and Evil 2?
So I guess we're starting Ubisoft now.
Here. Save your opinions on other Ubisoft games until the next question.
So you're saying, so what was the question? You said Mario plus Rabbids and what?
And Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Well,
I just need to ask a question real quick. When Beyond Good and Evil 2 was announced, what consoles was it announced for? I didn't pay attention to that.
They haven't said yet.
Yeah, it was just an announcement trailer. They didn't mention any consoles.
I'm hoping that Beyond Good and Evil 2 gets released on Nintendo Switch, and I hope it's multi-platform.
Yeah.
My opinion on the Rabbids game, it actually looks really, really good, and I was actually surprised by how good it looks. Like, I thought it was just gonna be a dumb, stupid looking game with Mario characters painted all over it, but it just was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
That's really all I have to say about that. It's amazing.
Yeah. One thing, like the Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle thing, that game looked pretty. Like, I wasn't expecting it being that. Like, can you think Mario and Rabbids? Like, why and what? Okay, that's odd. Wasn't expecting that or something like that. But I mean, I guess people knew about the game, just didn't know anything that much about which. And also the starting of it with Mario and Rabbids and like the start of the conference was pretty cool with having even Miyamoto being even there and talking about the game and all that that's pretty cool and all that.
That was really awesome. Seeing Miyamoto and the Ubisoft guy on stage together.
Yeah, Ubisoft guy or whatever. That was pretty cool. Like, and then ending the conference off with Beyond and Good Evil 2 I was like, oh my god. And like I said, when I was watching it, I had no idea it was gonna be Beyond Good Evil 2. Like, if I knew it was gonna be Beyond Good Evil 2, I probably would have straight off mentioned how the James Rolls with that one time about how like when they showed Skyrim.
Oh, here we go.
And then but when he thought it was Beyond Good and Evil 2, but that's just Skyrim that one time, that one discussion or thing that he did, or reactions to that Nintendo Direct thing.
Yeah, when it was going to get to my turn, I was going to say, James, this is what Beyond Good and Evil 2 looks like.
Yeah. That's the funny thing is that like I probably would have him said that or mentioned it in my live reactions or whatever. Well, I think I did mention my live reaction, but that was after I figured out what it was, what the title was. Like, because I didn't know at first it was Beyond Good and Evil 2 until they pretty much showed the title pretty much. Like, the kid, but yeah, having that's pretty exciting for people. I never played the original Beyond Good and Evil game, but that game looks pretty into it. Like, it's Beyond Good and Evil 2. Come on, like really, yeah. So yeah, and the Mario and Rabbids game just looks really interesting though. Like, I know it's Mario and Rabbids, but still look pretty interesting and was shocking surprised with the Beyond Good and Evil 2 at the end, which is also, I think those two things, just those two games makes Ubisoft conference a really good conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, but let's be for real. Like, we don't even need to have a separate question about Ubisoft's conference, because realistically, who really cares about The Crew 2, Transference, Skull and Bones, Starlink Battle for Atlas? I mean, Far Cry 5 maybe you can make an argument for.
Yeah.
But who cares about those when we have Beyond Good and Evil 2 and Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Of course, a lot of people say at first, why care for Mario and Rabbids? But of course, then when people saw it, it's like, never mind. Like, yeah, it's this game. That looks interesting. or thought it could be good and everything. That's the funny thing. Like this, people like this game's just gonna be so bad. And I know I was talking with my friend about like he didn't watch the conference live and was talking about how they dropped the Mario Rabbids game. He's like, this game's not gonna sell. No one's gonna buy it. Only old people and mobile or like the casual gamers are gonna buy it. And all that. He was saying only old people and casual gamers or casual players are gonna buy it, and like no one's gonna buy this. That was funny. And this was after the conference. Like he didn't watch it live or anything. Just was talking to a friend about it or anything. And he didn't see the gameplay for it at all yet. But he was talking about it like, oh my, it's pretty funny. It was pretty funny what he said about Mario and Rabbids game that no one's gonna play it. No one likes the Rabbids series and just
pretty much what Pancake was saying during the predictions
and that only like really old or people who don't know anything about video games are gonna play it, or only little kids will play it, or something like that.
Yep.
But I think that's just from the first reactions of it being, like, I guess being announced, not really being but after showing the gameplay, quite a bit of people's opinions changed about the game. And of course, a lot of people are excited for Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, I honestly don't have much to say about Beyond Good and Evil 2 because I never played the first one, but
same.
You just know this is one of those games where it's like such a huge deal when it was announced, and the fact that Ubisoft actually lied prior to E3s, claiming that Beyond Good and Evil 2 would not be at E3, that was, and then they saw it. That was pretty great.
Well, I think part of the reason is just that they didn't want anything to be spoiled and everything.
Yeah, they didn't want anything to be spoiled.
Like it did and everything, which I think that's the reason why they tried to lie or tried to hold it up. Which I mean, they did, but yeah.
Throwing everybody off the scent about that, it was a great move. And you can really tell from the developers on stage that it was a pretty emotional moment for them because, like, I think one guy was actually starting to cry about it.
Yes, I think it showed like the creator of the Mario Rabbids / Quad, or the guy who kind of was like started crying of just enjoyment in the audience and all that. I guess the creator of the game or whatever.
Yeah.
Just how like people thought this game looks good, and I guess the guy just kind of started like crying just of enjoyment, a cry of joy.
As for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, I'm with you guys. When this was first leaked, I did not like the idea. I don't like Rabbids, and the idea of a crossover RPG with Mario is very weird.
Yeah.
But then seeing the gameplay trailer and all that. That was really, really fun, and I'm really looking forward to this game. It's coming out a lot sooner than I thought it would be. Like, isn't it coming out in August or something like that?
Yeah, that was pretty soon. Yeah,
it's coming out a lot sooner than I thought it would. But
yeah, that's really soon.
Now I need to go on a bit of a rant for a moment. Those stupid leakers! Why did they spoil this? This would have been an amazing surprise if we knew nothing about it. Why did those stupid leakers have to say anything about this game? Why? It would have been amazing seeing people's live reactions to this being revealed for the first time. But then those leakers just had to go and spoil the fun for everybody. Because like if they get it right, they spoiled the fun from getting it revealed for the first time. If they get it wrong, then people are going to get mad about what's actually going to happen, like what's happening with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. People are mad that it's not stars, but you're getting 2 new versions of that game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is when it's leaked, there's like people like think it's going to happen, but it doesn't happen, and then people get mad because that didn't happen. Or like that's the thing is why that's the problem with while. Like, of course, the thing is when they get it right, people are well excited about it and everything. But the thing is, if they're right, people are not as excited if it's kept secret. That's the thing.
But if this wasn't leaked prior to E3, just think about it. People would have seen Peach's Castle and immediately thought Mario Odyssey. And then the Peach Rabbit comes along and people are going to be wondering what's going on.
Well, I mean, a lot of people were still excited because they didn't expecting it being good, though. That's the thing, though, too. So,
yeah, it's true.
So, but still, yeah. I mean, I really didn't know that much about that much. I mean, I heard stuff about the crossover thing, but didn't really know anything.
All right, so my next question, I don't think we really have a... What?
I never gave my full thoughts on Mario and Rabbids and the Beyond Good and Evil.
You did.
No.
No, me, Pancake, and you, Lega do you, but he didn't.
Huh.
The only point I got across during that was mentioning all the other games nobody cares about.
Yeah.
Give your opinion.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, so Mario and Rabbids, I agree. It sucks that it was leaked ahead of time. It would have been an awesome surprise, especially because Miyamoto was there. If it was just announced organically and not leaked. But yeah, it looks amazing. The XCOM style of game that it is, it looks really good. Even just the art style of the game looks really good. I really love when they showed the game director in the audience when Bill translated for Miyamoto, thanking him. You could just tell how much heart and soul the guy put into the game, and for it to be approved by one of his childhood idols, it's a touching moment. And yeah, it's coming out. A lot of people expected it in September, so the end of August instead is a nice surprise. But yeah, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle looked really, really good. I'm excited to play it. I was one of the many people that was like, this game is not going to be good. The Rabbids haven't been really good since they were first introduced. Like, it's not going to be good at all. But somehow they pulled it together. The team at Ubisoft pulled it together, and it looks really good. I guess it's just teaming up with Mario, like, just how, like, I guess normalized the Mario characters are, like just how regular they are. Like, I mean, it kind of worked with the Rayman crossover, I guess, too. The Rabbids are really insane, and then they're counterbalanced with like the calm aspect of another character like Mario or Rayman in the past. But yeah, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle looks amazing. I can't wait. I really loved how like hilarious the Rabbid Peach is. It's really hilarious how she likes taking selfies all the time. Seeing Peach handle a gun for the first time was hilarious. Rabbid Luigi being canon is amazing. And I liked the Donkey Kong gigantic Rabbid too. That was great. Yeah, now on to Beyond Good and Evil 2. It looks really great, and hopefully it doesn't take like 17 years to come out, because they've already been working on the game for like 10 years at this point, so hopefully they can tone down the engine maybe a little bit so it doesn't take them like an extra year or two to get it out. But yeah, even this game too, the heart and soul that the Ubisoft team put into it just to show off the announcement trailer, you can tell it means the world to the people. So it was really nice to finally get Beyond Good and Evil 2 announced. Hopefully the rumor that it's a timed exclusive for the Switch remains true. Hopefully that will come to fruition whenever they finally do announce. Maybe probably at next year's E3 what consoles it will probably be on, because I assume it'll be there. They can't just announce it here and then not include it next year in any type of capacity. So hopefully next year we can get an announcement of at least what consoles it'll be on, and I would look forward to that very much so. But yeah, I loved Ubisoft Conference. Way better than Sony and Microsoft in my eyes, and also one of their best in probably like the last decade.
Yeah.
I'm willing to say that this might very well be Ubisoft's best E3 conference.
Oh, I agreed. Oh, and they also showed off Just Dance. I forgot to mention that, but that's like a given every year. So,
but that's
who cares about that?
But I thought that's for a different question that like Yato was going to say anyway. Because he was just saying about Beyond Good and Evil 2 and Mario Rabbids camp first, then talk about the other games in the next question.
Yeah, but literally nobody cares about any other games but those two, so I don't think there's any point to do the other question.
So we just skip that thing?
Yes.
I was going to ask if there are any other Ubisoft games you want to talk about, but I don't think anybody really cares about anything else.
I was just going to quickly mention, well, I'm not really excited for this game at all because I haven't really, like I said, only played like one the game in the series before, and I thought it was alright. What I played was I guess they did which was always shown off in a different conference. The Assassin's Creed Origins game, but
oh yes, I forgot about that.
The Assassin's Creed Origins. I mean, that game looks pretty cool with being in ancient Egypt and all that, which looks really interesting, especially with how they took like a 1 year break from they took like a 1 full year break from have 1 year where they didn't release the Assassin's Creed game and everything, which I think another reason why a lot more people are excited for that game, just because they waited 1 full year instead of releasing Assassin's Creed game per year. They waited another year and everything, for the Assassin's, and plus I think a lot of people are just excited because they waited a while and everything. I'm not really an Assassin's Creed fan at all. Like I said, I only played a little bit of the fourth one, which is Black Flag, which is the one with the pirate and everything. And that one, and also the Assassin's Creed, the one I played, it's not the, I know it's not referred, it's not the best Assassin's Creed, but like people refer it as one of the better or best ones and everything. And actually, it's probably referred as to like really pretty much the last really good one, really, of the Assassin's Creed game, because the last few just been not so good at all. Especially Unity, which was the one that a lot of people hated, which I haven't played. Like I said, I only played the fourth one, and that was and the only reason I played the fourth one, the Assassin's Creed 4, because a few years ago was on Xbox. If you have Xbox Gold and everything, a few years ago, it was one of the it was one of the free games for the month or whatever that was free. So I was able to get that game free and try it out. And I thought the Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag was a pretty fun game and everything. And the only reason I'm looking forward to that, maybe play some of the other games and maybe get into the series if I even really like the series at all. But yeah, I just talked about it because that's I was planning on mentioning it in the other conference or whatever that we did earlier, but I thought this would be probably a better conference to talk about and everything. So
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm actually kind of excited for that one. I've never played an Assassin's Creed game before, but Origins looks really good, and the fact that it's coming to the Switch is pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot it's coming out for Switch. Yeah. Well, I knew it was going to come out for the the PS4 and Xbox One and all that. But yeah, who knows? I might even get it for the Switch. If I do get it, I guess I'm thinking I'm gonna get it for the Switch. Then if it's come out for the Switch, if it wasn't coming out the Switch, and if I did decide to get it, I would get it for my Xbox One. But now you mentioned that it's coming out for the Switch, I might get it for the Switch. I guess I forgot about that. It's coming out for that. My
mindset is that if any third-party game comes out for the Switch that I'm interested in, I'm going to get it on the Switch so that I can play away from my TV.
Yeah, that's the thing is if it's a third-party game that comes out for the Switch, I'm going to get it unless I already own the game, and unless I'm just really love the game on the other console I already own, and they add a bunch of new stuff. But if I don't own the game on a different console and it comes to the Switch, I'm probably gonna get the Switch because you can play the game on your TV and to go, while on other consoles you kind of just really can play it on your TV.
Well, they do have the remote play feature, but it's kind of a mess to set that up.
Oh yeah, true. But I'm talking about where you can play on your tablet or on on the tablet portion of the Switch, and then or play it on your dock on TV. Because that would be really cool. And that's the thing is that's what I hope that third-party games, more people go to third-party games on the Switch, especially seeing games that are going to the Switch, and if they do well, other companies will see that, or the same company will see that and put more of their games, or other companies put their games on the Switch.
Yeah. Marketing the fact that you can play these games anywhere at any time is, I think that's going to be a really big selling point for the Switch version of these games.
Yeah.
Like PS4 and Xbox One, you have the best visual experience, but if you get it on the Switch, you can take it with you.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'm excited for the. That's one thing, like I said, like on top of what you just mentioned, how it's coming for the Switch, for the Assassin's Creed Origins. But I might get it just because I can play it on the Switch. Good and everything. If people say it's good, if people say it's bad, I'm probably not going to get it. But who knows? I might still get it anyway. But of course, as me being not an Assassin's Creed fan at all, and only played the fourth one. If people say it's not a good Assassin's Creed game and it's not that good, I probably won't get it. But if people say it's good, I'm probably going to try it out and get it, see if I like it or not.
And speaking of Switch games, now we're about halfway through these questions, and the other half is pretty much only Nintendo stuff.
Well, do you want does Pancake or James want to talk about that game or any other games?
I'm getting tired. Let's just hurry up.
Okay. Okay.
I heard you talk about a Switch release for Origins. I don't think the developers said they weren't planning it.
Well, that was confirmed.
No, it's only on Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
Okay, I'll double check that in a minute.
I don't remember. I thought I didn't remember that, but you said something about that. Unless he was thinking of a different game.
I'll double check.
I think it might happen in a different game that was going to be on the Switch. That Ubisoft announced, maybe.
I'll double check while you guys answer this next question. Without mentioning any particular games, what do you think of the Nintendo Spotlight and the Treehouse demonstrations?
Let me just sum it up. Nintendo, 100%, just outdid everybody else in such limited time too. They did an amazing job at showing off their games, and it was like the way they did it was amazing too. It was just like they show off a game, then they move on to the next, and move on to the next, and it was just it was fast paced. It was amazing. The games look beautiful, stunning, and it's just everything Nintendo didn't do in the past when the Wii was still a thing that they're doing now. There's a brighter future for Nintendo now than there ever was back in the past, and I'm happy for Nintendo.
Before we get into the full-on Treehouse and Spotlight, I think we should talk about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, considering the stars thing from the predictions video.
Okay, sure, why not? I just went on my whole gushing over Nintendo. Thank you, James.
And also, like get to you, I looked it up, and it's not for the Switch.
Yeah,
it's for PS4. Well, at least of what confirmed so far, PS4, Xbox One, and the PC. Which I was surprised when you told me that. Like, it is like
everything. But everything I said still stands. If it does come to the Switch, I will get that version.
Yeah. If it comes to the Switch, yeah, okay. Yeah, if it comes to the Switch, I was like, because when you told me about that, I was like, I don't remember them saying that, or don't recall them, or don't remember that, but which is true because it hasn't been confirmed for the Switch yet, but I'm pretty sure it'd be nice if it does come for the Switch, because I'll probably get it if it does come for the Switch.
Yep.
But let's get to Nintendo now.